Greetings, I'm Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation. This is for men. So if you're a woman, be aware that I do a video just like this for you, but this is addressed to men. And so you shouldn't go, well, what about me? The topic here is my wife doesn't meet my needs. So gentlemen, let's talk about that. Because we need to understand that when you first got married, and look, I'm not dumping this on you, I'm not laying a trip on you, I'm not holding you accountable. Our goal, my aim here, is to help you have a great marriage. It's that simple. I used to be a divorce mediator back in 2001, quarter of a century ago almost. And a couple asked me to help them save their marriage instead of dissolve it. Nobody really wants to get a divorce. And so I got into marriage very pragmatically. I don't have a background in Western psychology. I've looked at it, I understand a lot of it, but that's not my thing. And I realized it's the wrong way to approach marriage altogether, because the very basis of marriage is not about those kind of needs, which are emotional needs. When you say, my wife doesn't meet my needs, you're talking about sexual, you're talking about emotional, you're talking about taking care of stuff. That isn't what marriage is all about. So all of that stuff is out of context. The greatest help I can give you is to give you a better context for marriage. That's where we start. Okay, so I'm not going to answer this question directly because it's impossible to answer it. And it's good that it's impossible to answer it, because if there was a possibility, your question would never be answered anyway, because it's the nature of the mind to always want more, to always have higher expectations than what you're getting now. It's the nature of the mind, because the mind is either tied to you as a soul, which usually that's not the case because that takes a lot of evolution, or it's tied to the body, right? Think of the mind as in the middle of you, the soul, and your body. And you, the soul, are not directing the mind. You're a victim of the mind by virtue of its habits, its instincts, and most importantly, the body's drive to survive. So the body, being a biological organism, is only focused on how do I gain more, how do I procreate, and how do I keep myself out of trouble, how do I avoid danger. Right? So that's what the mind is mostly doing. But you, the soul, you're all about love. Not emotional love, not like, wow, I really love that car. Wow, she really turns me on. We're talking about the real deal here. The soul is about ever new joy, ever expanding happiness, ever increasing love, the real love, that love that you feel when you see your kids sleeping, the love that you felt when you first met your soulmate. It's from here. It's so deep. It's so profound. And right away, as soon as we feel that love, the mind jumps in and starts talking about other things and distracts us, because a mind is not capable of feeling love. So you literally have to separate yourself, your true self, from the mind. And then recognize this. This is intellectual, this is practical, this is real. No one can satisfy your needs. But your highest need, the need for love, unconditional love, can only be satisfied in this way, by opening your heart. Because the love that you feel, that is real, cannot be felt from anything external. The love that you just absolutely have to have, all of us have to have the love that we crave, which is the only need that really matters, especially when we're married, is by giving that love. Because the love is not produced from you. It's God. This is God's deal. This is God's domain. And we can only experience His love by giving it to others. It flows through us. It comes into us. And when we, by virtue of our free will, give that love, then we feel it. So think back and think of the times you've really felt that love, which is your only need, and think about why you felt it. You were giving it. Sure, your wife can give you love, but you can't feel it because the filters that the mind puts up to protect itself, protect the body, don't allow love to come through. And the mind couldn't experience love even if it did. But when you open up your heart and you give love and you ignore all the warnings from your mind, you ignore all the complaints of the mind, and you're just giving love and you feel love, that's the only need that you need to feel. You see? So what I'm sharing with you is a very high truth. And what I want you to do in return for this is to like the video, and it's not for my sake, but it gets the message out to other people. Like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, do all that. Now let's go back to this. So when you learn to love unconditionally, all of your needs are met. The needs that are for sex, a lot of that time that gets met too. If you're learning to love unconditionally, your wife is going to respond to that, you see. If you learn to love unconditionally, your wife is going to be pulled in. Because although everyone says, well, women are emotional, but they also have this beautiful attribute, and it's by virtue of nature actually, where their hearts are more open than ours as men. And so you will shift the dynamic of your relationship with her. So you see, put aside these petty needs that are driven by the mind. Sexual needs driven by the body because procreation is a thing of biology. Oh no, I need sex, I gotta have sex. I know, me too. But the thing of it is that what you really want to do is even convert that sexual desire into desire for love. Opening your heart will create the right environment for that. It all comes together. Read one of my books. Definitely watch these videos, but read one of my books. If your marriage is on the verge, by the way, if it's really getting out there, then get the course for men. Don't waste time with other stuff. Be realistic about your marriage. Is my marriage going down the tubes? Because literally, almost every marriage is going down the tubes. It's just at a different stage. I mean, it's sort of like if we get married and don't really know what marriage is all about, how can it be otherwise? Reminds me of this video I saw a long time ago, back before YouTube and all that stuff, where this rich dad gave his 16-year-old son a Maserati, and he was filming the kid, maybe you saw this, driving it for the first time. He couldn't handle it, drove it right into a tree. And this is how we are with our marriage. We don't understand marriage. We don't understand what to do, how to gain the most from this amazing thing called marriage. Marriage is amazing. I'm not kidding you. It's like God's gift to us. But not so we have more sex, not so that our wife is washing our back in the shower, not so that she's preparing great food, but because it's an opportunity for us to experience the real deal, love. And that's the truth. So again, I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. Leave a like, don't forget that. Subscribe, don't forget that. See you next time, don't forget that. And God bless you, and take care.